The first official day of the All Japan Model and Hobby Show 2025 is in the books, and now we're going into day 2, and the Takara Tomy and T-Spark booth are lit up with a ton of new items. Some of them we've already seen kind of briefly through the Takara Tomy T-Spark live stream, some that we've seen, here and there through other streams and other in-person appearances. So we have stuff like the MPG 19 Soundwave on display, the Studio Series 86 liter class Soundwave on display, 2 Soundwaves. The Evangelion Prime is now there in person, so we got a better look at that one at least, although not really most of the weapons though. We got some better photos and angles of that Transformers Overgear subline that we talked about yesterday, the OG01 Ironhide, the OG02 Blackout. They're looking really good and even more slick now with their weapons, especially we get to see the back of them and stuff, so we get to see all that fine detail. Hopefully we get more info on these guys, the prices, the story behind them, and everything from Takara proper very soon. Takara Tomy also finished setting up their Masterpiece movie series Next display that we talked about yesterday with Sideswipe. And now we got some better photos of the robot mode, especially up close now. We have still no in-person prototype stuff of the car in person, but we do have some nice display images that show the CAD models of both the car mode and the robot mode, so at least we kind of get a little bit of what's going on there. We also have a good look now of the blast effects that come with the Sideswipe that kind of double as stands for the legs, because if you know Sideswipe, the character, he has these wheel feet. So if you're really true to it, yeah, it looks like he has some heels there that could hold him up, but the wheel feet would probably also lead to a little weird stability with certain poses. So by having these blast effects that kind of act as stands for his wheel feet and add a nice dynamic look, it's something that's there that makes him look good, supports him up so you could do different kinds of crazy poses, and adds a little value to him because he doesn't really exactly have a lot of extras in terms of weapons and stuff. So it's a nice little bonus too that they could figure out a way to include with a Masterpiece to add more price and value. And speaking of price and value, we don't have a price yet or a release date yet, but no doubt this is something for 2026 with this brand new Masterpiece neckline, the MPM N01. But what else do we got here? The new reveal, which is also something that comes as no surprise to most of us that have been paying attention to the Transformers Missing Link line, we have a brand new Missing Link figure debuting at this show. So when we got the Transformers Missing Link C10 Ultra Magnus along with his partner Deerstalker, it was pretty clear at some point we were going to be getting the Diaclone colors, because Deerstalker, that little add-on Diaclone exclusive mold being included with the Ultra Magnus instead in blue, really told us what the future of this mold was going to be in repaints. And it was only a matter of time before that Diaclone-colored Delta Magnus, as it's supposed to be known officially, was going to be part of the Missing Link line. And it looks like that day is today. All Japan Toy Hobby Show 2025 revealed Transformers Missing Link C11 Delta Magnus along with his buggy companion, Powerdrive. Now, originally, this guy, when it was part of the Diaclone line, he was known as Powered Commander, and his little buggy partner was called Powered Buggy. But Delta Magnus is his name now because he was given some kind of fiction and lore as the Prime Vanguard when he had a Masterpiece release. His bio mentioned how his name is Delta Magnus, he's part of the Prime Vanguard, he continued being City Commander from Ultra Magnus when he left, and his bio also mentioned that his little buggy guy is not named Powered Buggy like his Diaclone counterpart, but Powerdrive. So that's the story with it. And now we got Powerdrive here using a 1-for-1 redeco of the Deerstalker mold that it was always originally intended to be used for. Now, it's not clear if there's any other majority differences going on with this Delta Magnus outside of it just being a redeco. We're going to assume that the Matrix of Leadership is included with it, like all the other stuff that was included with the Ultra Magnus release. I see no reason for them to leave it out. And I mean, it's a good excuse to do another color wave of that Matrix if they want to. But we do notice that the Diaclone driver that's included with the Ultra Magnus is different than this Diaclone driver that's now included with the missing link Delta Magnus. He comes with a female Diaclone driver. And judging by the choice of colors and some of the sculpted details here, while I can't confirm this, I think this is our second or third, if you've been counting, nod to the Masterpiece Delta Magnus origins and story. This is a Diaclone driver and our first look at missing link Marissa Faireborn. The original Masterpiece Delta Magnus came with a mini Marissa Faireborn figure, and it looks like the missing link version here is going to continue that tradition. So it's very cool and a nice extra incentive for people who already picked up the Ultra Magnus or are planning to, because it's not out yet, and have to find another reason to justify picking up this one in the Diaclone color. So you get an exclusive Marissa Faireborn figure with this, or a Diaclone female driver. Very, very cool. Now we got a release date for the Ultra Magnus, who comes before Delta Magnus in the numbering, and he's planned to come out in June of 2026. So if the missing link releases have usually a 2 to 3 month span in between each other, then the C11 Delta Magnus no doubt will probably ship out in September to October of 2026, in that range next year. So almost a full year from now, really, when you think about it. So that's kind of an estimation of probably when this guy's going to come out, even though we don't have an official announcement yet. And as for price, well, I'm just going to assume, because we saw that already with some of the other redecos so far with Missing Link, that if the Ultra Magnus is going for 175 to about 195 USD, depending on which Japanese or Western retailer you're purchasing from, no doubt it's going to be the same thing with this one here. I mean, there's not enough more to make it more expensive, and there's not enough taken away to make it cheaper. It's pretty much all the same stuff, just the Diaclone driver went from one dude to a very popular female character in Transformers. So that's the way I see it. And that's it more or less for the All Japan Model Toy 2025 show thus far for Day 2. Again, Day 2 is revving up still as we speak, even though it's late Friday night here in the West. It's starting to be early Saturday morning in Japan. So we'll keep you posted on any new updates on the show and all the other stuff that's going on. And speaking of Saturday, tomorrow will be the Transformer Slag Podcast Internet live stream main event, like we always do. Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. This will be the last live stream before TFCon weekend in Chicago, which will be the week after. So come check out this live stream coming up. We will be absent next week because we will be in Chicago for TFCon, but we're going to be covering all kinds of stuff, what's happening at this show, the plans for what's going to be happening at TFCon Chicago, all the new reveals and stuff. We'll get into that in the deep details. So be sure to check that out next time you see me tomorrow. Thanks again for listening to the Transformer Slag Podcast and keeping you educated, entertained, and informed on everything going on in your beautiful Transformer world. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.